The Premier League has the highest percentage of foreign players of any league in Europe, and I suspect the world, with just shy of 70% of all Premier League players hailing from a nation other than England. The result is that we get to witness some of the finest footballers in the world on our shores, but we do also get our fair share of thoroughly mediocre imports, and some feel as though it is this second bracket of player that prevents young English talent from getting opportunities in top-flight starting 11s. Today, we're doing a video that keeps cropping up in the comments and seems to get quite a lot of likes, and that is a look at which foreign countries each Premier League club seems to favour the most. Of course, some clubs have already been relegated, but they are still Premier League clubs until we go into next season and as such feature in our list, which is compiled in alphabetical order. On-loan players do count, out-on-loan players do not, and any nation other than English qualifies as being foreign for the purposes of this video. Right. Without further ado, here is our look at which foreign country your Premier League team has the most players from. Arsenal, France, Spain and Germany. It's a three-way tie at the Emirates between France, Spain and Germany, who each have 3 players in the Arsenal squad. The Gunners' 3 Frenchmen are Laurent Koscielny, Alexandre Lacazette and Matteo Guendouzi. Their 3 Spaniards are Hector Bellerin, Nacho Monreal and Barcelona loanee Denis Suarez, and their 3 Germans are Bernd Leno, Shkodran Mustafi and Mesut Ozil. Of course, if we throw manager Unai Emery into the mix, then it'd be Spain who'd take it here. Bournemouth, Wales. Bournemouth have a really high density of English players in their squad, with 15 English players and 12 non-English players in total. Wales are the only country other than England that Bournemouth have more than 1 player from, and even then, they only have 2, namely David Brooks and Chris Metham. Both young full internationals, Metham arrived from Brentford for reported £12 million in January, whilst Brooks has looked really impressive since joining the Cherries from Sheffield United. Brighton, Spain and the Netherlands. From one South Coast outfit to another, whilst Bournemouth have a ratio of 15 to 12 in favour of English players, Brighton have a ratio of 7 to 16 against them. Although Chris Hughton's side have a lot of foreign players, they're not really concentrated in any particular nation. Spain and the Netherlands lead the way with just 2 each, namely club captain Bruno and summer signing Martin Montoya from Spain, and Jurgen Locadia and Davy Proper from the Netherlands. Burnley, the Republic of Ireland. I think I'm right in saying Burnley have the most English squad in the Premier League, and they only have 5 players from outside of the British Isles. In terms of foreign nations, the Republic of Ireland lead the way with 4 players in Sean Dyche's squad, namely Robbie Brady, Jeff Hendrick, Stephen Ward and Kevin Long. Cardiff City, Wales and the Republic of Ireland. You would think Wales would romp this one since Cardiff City are the only Welsh side in the Premier League. In fact, you could argue that it should be the English here since technically they are more foreign than the Welsh in Cardiff. However, there are just 3 Welsh players at Cardiff City and they have played a combined total of 3 Premier League games this season. Neil Warnock has as many Irishmen at his disposal with Harry Arter, Greg Cunningham and Brian Murphy from the Emerald Isle. Chelsea, Spain. There are a couple of Frenchmen, a couple of Argentines, and 3 Italians in the Chelsea squad, but leading the way with 4 players at Stamford Bridge is the club's Spanish contingent. Made up of the world's most expensive goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga, 2017-18 PFA Team of the Year inclusion Marcos Alonso, 3-time Champions League winner Pedro, and Chelsea's 2013-14 Player of the Year Cesar Azpilicueta, Chelsea's quartet of Spaniards are all pretty influential players at the club. Crystal Palace, Senegal, Ghana, Belgium and the Netherlands. The most diverse inclusion in this entire list is a 4-way tie between Senegal, Ghana, Belgium and the Netherlands at Selhurst Park, each with 2 players in the current Crystal Palace squad. The Eagles also have 1 Argentine, 1 Serbian, 1 German, 1 Ivorian, 1 Frenchman, 1 Welshman, 1 Scot, 1 Brazilian, 1 Malian and 1 Spaniard in Roy Hodgson's rich tapestry of a team. Everton, France. Everton make things a little easier for us with a clear winner in France with 3 representatives in Marco Silva's side. One is centre-back Kurt Zouma, who is on loan at Goodison Park from Chelsea. The other is adventurous fullback Luca Digne, who joined the club from Barcelona in the summer. And the last of the 3 is Morgan Schneiderlin, who after a bright start to life on Merseyside has had 2 really difficult seasons with the Toffees. Fulham. Spain, Scotland and Serbia. It has been a pretty bleak season for Fulham, who played really entertaining football in the Championship under Slavisa Jokanovic. After a £100 million plus spending spree in the summer and 2 mid-season managerial changes, they've had a pretty chaotic season which has resulted in relegation back into the Championship. The Cottagers have 2 players each from Spain, namely Sergio Rico and Fabri, Scotland, Kevin McDonald and Tom Kearney, and Serbia, Alexander Mitrovic and Lazar Markovic. Huddersfield Town, Germany. Huddersfield's relegation from the Premier League always seems somewhat of an inevitability since the opening few weeks of the season, and even more so following the departure of David Wagner. The influence of Wagner can still be felt at the John Smith Stadium since the Terriers have 4 German players in their squad, namely Chris Lerver, Christopher Schindler, Abdelhamid Sabiri and Eric Dern. Leicester City, Nigeria. 2 Nigerian players in the Leicester City squad is enough to make the African nation the dominant foreign force in the Foxes' side. Those 2 are striker Kelechi Iheanacho and defensive midfielder Wilfred Ndidi. Iheanacho has been a little underwhelming since arriving at the King Power, having looked an excellent prospect at Man City, but Ndidi has been excellent at the base of the Foxes' midfield for the last couple of seasons. Liverpool, the Netherlands and Brazil. There are 2 players each from the Netherlands and Brazil in Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool squad, and all 4 are key men at Anfield. From the Netherlands, there is Virgil van Dijk and Jorginho Wijnaldum, and from Brazil, they have midfield enforcer Fabinho and selfless centre-forward Roberto Firmino. Manchester City, Brazil. There's a runaway leader with 4 players at Manchester City, and that is the South American nation of Brazil. Brazilian duo Ederson and Fernandinho, it could be argued, are Pep Guardiola's 2 most important players. Meanwhile, Danilo and Gabriel Jesus are pretty important squad players as well. Manchester United, Spain. There are a couple of Frenchmen and a couple of Brazilians in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Manchester United squad, but leading the way with 3 players is Spain. Those 3, and I suspect you don't need telling but I will do anyway, are David De Gea, Juan Mata and Ander Herrera. The last of the trio, Herrera, is being heavily linked with a summer move to PSG at the moment. Newcastle United, Spain. It won't surprise you to find out that there are more Spanish players than any other foreign nation in the Premier League, and managed by Spaniard Rafa Benitez, Newcastle are another club where Spain comes out on top. The Magpies have 3 Spaniards in their squad at the minute, namely Jose Perez, Javier Manquillo and Joselu. Perez is the pick of the bunch, and he's been a really important player at St James's Park this season. Southampton, Denmark and the Republic of Ireland. Just 2 players apiece from Denmark and the Republic of Ireland is enough to see them tied as the joint most represented foreign nations at Southampton. Although it's a tie, the Danish duo exert far more influence. Former Bayern Munich man Pierre-Emil Højbjerg has arguably been the Saints' most important player under Ralph Hasenhüttl, along with Nathan Redmond, whilst Yannick Vestergaard has become a key cog at the back under the Austrian boss. Tottenham Hotspur, Argentina. With an Argentinian manager in the form Mauricio Pochettino, Tottenham also have more players from the South American nation than any other foreign country. You probably wouldn't think that at first, with none of the 3 necessarily being key men, but it is the case. Eric Lamela was once Tottenham's record signing, Juan Foyth has looked more than capable when called upon at the back, and some feel backup goalkeeper Paulo Gazzaniga ought to be given a chance in place of Hugo Lloris. Watford, Spain. It doesn't always work out this way, but as is the case with Tottenham, the foreign country with the most representatives in the Watford side is the same nationality as the manager themselves. Javi Gracia, who has had a superb debut campaign at Watford, has 3 Spanish players in his squad, namely Gerard Deulofeu, Kiko Firmino and Marc Navarro. Deulofeu is the pick of the bunch, and he's shown a few times this season why Barcelona seriously considered him as a long-term option at the Camp Nou. West Ham United, Argentina, Spain and friends. The 8th and final time out of just 20 teams it's worth remembering that Spain have featured in this list is a three-way tie at West Ham between Argentina, Spain and France. From Argentina, the Hammers have Manuel Lanzini and Pablo Zabaleta. From Spain, they have Adrian and Lucas Perez, and from France, they have Samir Nasri and Issa Diop. Wolverhampton Wanderers. Portugal. Whilst it's a pretty close call with every other team in the Premier League, the influence of super agent Jorge Mendes is pretty pronounced at Wolverhampton Wanderers. In addition to their Portuguese manager, the Premier League new boys have 8 Portuguese players in their squad, 6 of which are regular fixtures in the side. To put that in perspective, the most players from a single foreign nation in any other Premier League side is 4, half the number of Portuguese players at Wolves. Luckily for Wolves, some of those 8 are pretty handy. The likes of Rui Patricio, Ruben Neves and João Moutinho are among the best players outside of the Premier League's top 6, and the Midlanders are on course for an excellent first season back in the top flight. So that's it for today's Not Actually a 7. As always, let us know any new video ideas you'd like to see from us in the comments. Thanks for watching, give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and feel free to subscribe and turn on notifications for HITC Sevens for more from us.